Right, just received this a couple days ago. This is the Star Trek Official Starships Collection Steamrunner class, and that is not how you spell Steamrunner. That E doesn't belong. Anyways, Steamrunner class NCC 52136. This is the collector's edition, reprint, I guess you could say, of this ship. Basically, they've been doing this with a bunch of the ships that went out of stock, and instead of just bringing back the way they were, they reprinted them so that other owners, or so that collectors could get their hands on them again, and in a little bit nicer packaging. You got some of the other ships of the line here, and the side of the box has information and some nice pictures there. Sorry, I don't have like the greatest angle on the camera at the moment. All right, I was super excited for this to come back in because the Steamrunner is my favorite class of starship, and unfortunately is one of the least featured starships in all of Star Trek. The Excelsior would be right there with the Steamrunner, but the Steamrunner has always been like, just has a special place in my heart. Love that interesting catamaran or design there with the I guess you'd call it engineering section, but like at least the pod with the deflector dish suspended below. But there we have, you know, some of the statistics about the ship, the background information about it. Basically one of those ships that was designed probably about the middle TNG era after the first Borg the Battle of Wolf 359. I imagine after that, that was when they ramped up a bunch of the interesting concept art there, very much like that. Anyways, ramped up the designs of more militarized Federation starships. Love this look right here. That would have been incredible in itself, in its own right. Anyways, and then it goes on to talk about the Borg and other things that are tied to the history of the Steamrunner. Anyways, the Steamrunner, unfortunately, only has a few appearances in Star Trek. That would be in Star Trek First Contact and in some of the Dominion War battles of Deep Space Nine. I believe that is basically it for the Steamrunner. And I had always thought it would be cool to see one of these ships featured in its own show, or part of a, like, maybe a show that featured multiple ships and told their stories. Anyways, just been waiting over a year to get one of these. So happy to see it finally come into stock and be able to pre-order it. Pre-order was about a month late. Let's get the stand out of there. Alright, we got the stand, and people like to see this for whatever reason. Steamrunner class seat, they got it spelled correctly there. 3892-A/C. Not exactly sure what those things mean, but every time I see people open these up, they show that. So, just a nice metal stand with the felt on the bottom. Get that in there, and then let's take a look at the ship. Alright, so it feels like we got a decent amount of die cast here. You can see the separation lines. Those are pretty prominent for those who don't like that. This is a plastic insert here. And then we have metal all along the top here. So the entire top half of the saucer section is metal. And including, actually, the nacelles, because they're part of that same mold, going all the way back. That is metal as well, all the way to the deflector pod there. So really, the only parts of this, it seems, that are plastic is the bottom. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. A lot of detail. Let's see if I can get in up close. Unfortunately, that's disappointing. That is just painted in. No plastic translucent piece there for the deflector dish. But the important areas, we do have the clear, the translucent plastic for the warp nacelles. Surprisingly, I notice, and let's see if you can get the light there, the impulse engines are also clear. And of course the warp Bussard collectors on the front there that are integrated into the hull, into the saucer. Anyways, so it seems like a lot of die-cast metal on this one. I'm not sure if that's how the original printing of these was, but it definitely is here, and I'm very glad for that, because that's part of the quality for me, why I like these, is there's a lot of die-cast metal. Let's bring it up close here, get a look. See if I can get it to focus correctly there. Okay. USS Appalachia, NCC 52136, and in very small print there, United Federation of Planets. And they got it correct, one facing one way, one facing the other. The deflector pod there, you can see that apparently that's where the warp core is, because that little red circle and dots there, that would be where the warp core would eject from. A lot of nice detailing on the underside here, just looking very nice. The windows, well, this part's plastic, so I feel like that's probably going to be pretty accurate. It always seems to be the metal parts where they mess up on the windows. On the nacelles there, let's see. There we go. You can see the teeny tiny print along the banner there. And I'm sure that says United Federation of Planets within it. That's crazy that they would go that far. I appreciate it, though, of course. And there we go. Same thing for the top of the nacelles. You get that detail. And then right here, USS Appalachia with the NCC. So they did a good job on the badging of the ship. You have the Shuttle Bays there, 1 and 2. Pretty prominent, very nice. The impulse engines, like I said, those are translucent red. Those look very nice. You got these little blue pinstripes going up to the engines. Now let's take a look at the front here. Saucer looks good, good detailing there. I mean, this is one of the better ones I've seen when it comes to getting the alignment of windows and escape pods, thrusters, the phaser strips. Everything's looking really good for the Steamrunner here. Now, I guess I would be disappointed in this. Well, they got the raised phaser strip here. That's nice, actual mold there. But they did just paint on the phaser strips up here. So some people might be pretty particular about that. I would have liked to have seen that, because on these smaller starships, the phaser strips are fairly prominent. They do actually provide a sense of scale, in my opinion. So to have those painted on is a little disappointing. But overall, this is looking like a very well done, very well detailed ship with not many errors. The design of the ship is pretty simple, even though it is, I guess, strange or different for a Starfleet ship. So it's not that hard, I feel like, or it shouldn't be that hard to get the details correct. You even have your forward, whatever this is. I've always assumed it might be like a cargo bay or potentially like windows that are covered. Well, no, windows, those would be pretty huge. So I've always assumed it must be a cargo bay, because you have your shuttle bays 1 and 2 back here. That would probably be cargo access. You do have the indentations there for the maneuvering thrusters, at least on the top. You don't really have, well, you have them there on the nacelles. That, I believe, was a maneuvering thruster there. Generally, where you find that yellow spot, that's what you're seeing. So, yeah, overall, and the size is okay. Move the camera over here. Size is okay, pretty much, hand length, fits in the palm. Not a large, this is obviously not an XL. Oh my goodness. What I would give for them to do a Steamrunner XL, that would be pretty amazing. You've already seen the Nebula class XL I have on the channel, and due to that being a mostly saucer starship, it's pretty big in, pretty large in scale for a saucer, and that would probably be the case with the Steamrunner as well, just due to the fact that so much of it is a saucer section. It's not a long-bodied ship, it's a wide-bodied ship. So yeah, that is looking pretty good. The stand, this is much better than some. I know it's kind of putting most of the weight forward, but it's held very securely, and these are not, these are die cast. These are not flimsy parts of the ship all the way back. So, this holds pretty good. It's very stable. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty cool. The only part, that's plastic, and the inserts on the nacelles. I'm pretty sure all the rest of this is die cast. But this is a design that would be fairly easy to do in a couple pieces of die cast metal. So anyways, there is the USS Appalachia Steamrunner class from Eaglemoss. Very much like this one, and hopefully you guys are able to get your hands on it, and others, now that they're doing these reprints.